Once upon a time, in a peaceful kingdom surrounded by shimmering lakes and green forests, there lived a young princess who loved beautiful things. She lived in a grand palace filled with laughter, music, and sunshine. The princess had everything she could ever wish for: silk dresses, golden toys, and sparkling jewels. But her favorite treasure of all was a small golden ball. Every day, when the sun was bright and warm, the princess would wander into the royal gardens to play. The garden was full of color and life. Roses danced in the breeze, butterflies fluttered between blossoms, and birds sang soft melodies. At the very end of the garden stood an ancient fountain made of white stone. Its water was so clear that it looked like liquid glass, and it sparkled with every drop of sunlight. The princess loved to sit beside the fountain, tossing her golden ball into the air and catching it again and again. The ball shone like a tiny sun, and she smiled whenever it glittered in her hands. But one afternoon, as she tossed it higher than usual, it slipped from her fingers and fell with a splash into the fountain. The ball sank deep into the dark water, disappearing from sight. The princess gasped. She leaned over the edge, trying to see it, but the fountain was too deep and too shadowy. Her heart felt heavy with sadness. The golden ball was her most precious toy, and now it was gone forever. Just then, she noticed a small ripple in the water. From beneath the surface, a little frog rose up, green and shining in the sunlight. His round eyes blinked, and his voice sounded calm and curious. Though the princess could not understand his croaks, it seemed as if the frog was offering help. The princess watched as the frog dived back into the water. Bubbles rose to the surface. After a few moments, he reappeared, and in his mouth was the golden ball. The sunlight glimmered on the wet gold as he pushed it toward her. The princess reached out, took the ball carefully, and smiled with relief. She clutched her ball tightly and ran back toward the palace, her heart light again. Behind her, the little frog looked up at her retreating figure. He gave a quiet, lonely croak, then disappeared back into the cool water. That evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the sky with pink and orange light, the princess sat in the grand dining hall with her family. Candles flickered, silver dishes gleamed, and gentle music floated through the room. But just as dinner began, there came a small, wet sound at the door. A soft knock, followed by a croak. The princess froze. She remembered the frog from the fountain. The sound came again, a little louder this time. The king, noticing his daughter's worried face, asked what was wrong. The princess told him everything, how her golden ball had fallen into the fountain, and how a frog had brought it back to her. The king listened carefully and said that promises, once made, must always be kept. He told his daughter that the frog had shown kindness and deserved her respect. Though she didn't quite understand, the princess nodded quietly. Soon, the frog was brought into the hall. His small green body looked quite strange among the glittering dishes and golden candles. He sat beside the princess's plate, blinking his wide eyes. Though she felt uncomfortable, she remembered her father's words. She carefully placed a few crumbs of bread and tiny drops of milk before him. The frog ate happily, and when dinner was done, he gave a small croak of contentment. As the night grew darker, the princess rose to go to her room, but the frog followed her. She turned, unsure what to do. Again, her father gently reminded her that kindness should always be returned. So the princess lifted the frog and carried him upstairs. His skin was cool and smooth, and though she tried to be gentle, she wished he would stay behind. In her golden bedroom, the moonlight shimmered through soft curtains. She placed the frog on a small silk pillow beside her bed. That night, the princess couldn't sleep. She listened to the quiet chirping of crickets and the soft breathing of the frog beside her. The world outside was peaceful. Slowly, her heart softened. She realized the little creature had done her no harm. He had helped her, and all he wanted was friendship. When morning came, the princess awoke to the first rays of sunlight touching her face. She turned to look at the frog, but he was gone. In his place stood a handsome young prince with kind eyes and a gentle smile. The princess gasped softly, her heart full of wonder. The prince told his story, that he had once been a human, cursed by an enchantress to live as a frog until someone showed him true kindness. The princess's gentle heart had broken the spell. Though the story was beyond her dreams, she felt joy and warmth spread through her. That very day, the prince asked the king for permission to take the princess to his kingdom, where he ruled beside a sparkling lake, the same one from which he had once emerged as a frog. The king smiled and agreed, for he saw that his daughter had grown wiser and kinder. Soon, the palace was filled with celebration. Bells rang, flowers bloomed, and laughter filled the halls. The princess and the prince rode together in a golden carriage drawn by white horses. Birds flew above them, singing happy songs. When they arrived at the prince's kingdom, they found it bright and peaceful. The people welcomed them with joy, and the lake shimmered under the afternoon sun. From that day forward, the princess and the prince lived together in harmony and love. They often walked by the water's edge, remembering how kindness and courage had brought them together. The princess never forgot the lesson she had learned, that true beauty lives not in golden toys or sparkling jewels, but in the goodness of the heart. And so, their days passed gently. Seasons came and went. Spring blossoms, summer rains, autumn leaves, and winter snow. The palace stood strong beside the lake, surrounded by laughter and love. Sometimes, on quiet evenings, when the moonlight touched the water, the princess would hear the soft croak of a frog far away. It reminded her of the day her golden ball fell into the fountain, the day her life changed forever. And with a tender smile, she would whisper a silent thank you to the friend who had taught her the true magic of kindness. And they lived happily ever after.